Intolerance is growing, ladies and gentlemen, and alarmed at some of the incidents in our country, many people are now fearing for their children, about the atmosphere that is becoming more venomous around us. Those comments really were made by actor Amir Khan way back in 2015. But the backlash of those comments still continues for him after 7 years. Amir Khan's new film Laal Singh Chadda is soon to be released, and the troll army is reminding him of these comments. Boycott Laal Singh Chadda, boycott Amir Khan posts have been trending on social media. Trolls are raking up the actor's old movies and his alleged insult to Hindu deities to justify their demands. But can these demands be really justified? Is that not the biggest sign of intolerance? Aren't these trolls just proving Amir right? Well, after facing this criticism, which many would say is misplaced and unwarranted, Amir Khan has responded and requested trolls to make it sound like it's not true that he doesn't love his country, but that is absolutely untrue, he says. He said, I really love my country and urged people to go watch Laal Singh Chadda. Does that settle the debate? Definitely not. But it has brought about the intolerance debate back on the table. And to debate with me tonight, I'm joined by Kasturi Shankar, actor, Prahlad Kakar, ad guru, and Ratan Sharda, my friend and author. Ratan Sharda, what's the objection? Why should a film not be watched? Because 7 years ago, Amir Khan said something. Are we going to justify boycott of people who said something in another context about a film he makes? Is that really how India in 2022 will work?
Good evening, Navika. See, fans make the stars. When stars forget that they were made by the fans, they have to face the ire of the fans. When Kareena said that मेरी picture देखने तो देखो, नहीं देखनी मत देखो, so people have chosen not to see her movie. So why should you object to that? In a democracy, if I don't like certain views and if I am not doing any violence, I am saying boycott Laal Singh Chadda, then let people decide whether they want to see or not. I wrote a piece many years back when PK was released, where at the same time Rohit Shetty made a movie which was super hit, which had sadhu, some guru caricatured as a villain. And I said, from childhood I have been made to feel a guilty Hindu, because from childhood I saw Abdul Chacha, very nice person, Father Anthony, very wonderful person, Panditji, ek number ka rascal, raping women, behaving like a buffoon. In Bhool Bhulaiya, recently, at the end of the movie, you know what the Pandit says to the Panditain? Chalo Panditain, hum to jaake gomutra peete hain. Is that necessary? When you ridicule Hindus for no reason at all, that slowly, that over years, that irritation of being taken for granted, the lightheartedness of self-criticism has been taken to a height where Hindus can be ridiculed anytime, but you cannot say a word
about it. But Mr. Ratan Sharda, they were just stories. Why are we making it so real life? And Prahlad Kakar...
No, let me come to the main issue. Let me come to the main issue. Not only story, I am saying the way narrative in Bollywood have been set for years together, that inbuilt irritation is slowly showing on smallest things. If we had opposition with Amir Khan, Dangal wouldn't have proven to be super hit, remember?
Then why is boycott Amir Khan trending? Boycott Laal Singh Chadda trending? It also gives trolls a right to dictate what people are doing and influence what people are doing. And is that negativity really necessary? Is that negativity really necessary, Prahlad Kakar? I want to ask you that question. Everybody has a freedom. If they want to see the film, they'll see it. If they don't want to see it, they won't see it, regardless of the trolls. So I want to ask you, has Bollywood stereotyped Hindus and shown other religions in better light, as Ratan Sharda alleges?
Not at all. As a matter of fact, I mean, we all know, everybody in this country knows that these are targeted trolls. And they're barely, say, 0.01% of the real population. Whether they influence any other populations, the only way they can do it is through intimidation. But just by trolling is not going to affect the film, to be very honest. Because everybody who wants to see the film will see the film. And every right-minded, Indian will want to see the film. So, I mean, I don't see why we made this into such a huge issue, because I think we should start ignoring the trolls, to be very honest, especially when they're targeted trolls. And they're very, very specific in their targeting, like what they did for Tanish, what they did for some of the ads. And eventually what happened was, at the end of the day, that the amount of people who actually logged on to Tanish websites were doubled because of the trolling, not singled. So people have to decide whether the trolls are right or wrong.
So Kasturi, do you think this is a publicity stunt? Because according to what the ad man Prahlad Kakar, the genius, says, actually it might make people watch this film even more, because it's a great publicity for the film.
First of all, it's a great honor to be on a panel with Mr. Kakar. I started my filmy career looking at Mr. Padamsi and Mr. Kakar, actually. So nice to finally listen to his words. Thank you. You know, as in his wisdom, he says that this is working out as publicity for the movie, but I don't think it's an intentional publicity stunt at all. I think it's very irritating for everyone concerned from a creation point of view. There is a movie that is being made, that is being placed in front of the people of India, and it is getting unwanted attention. If it turns out to be, you know, as they say, no publicity is bad publicity, then that's great. But here's what I have to say. I don't condone all of Aamir Khan's opinions. I, in fact, think Kareena Kapoor was extremely insensitive to filmy fraternity as well, to people who've come up the hard way without a father or a godfather. I think it was very insensitive of her, even of the paying public, to say, mat jao, mat dekhna mere movie ko. It's very entitled and it's very privileged. That said, I will watch Laal Singh Chadda. Why? Why will I watch Laal Singh Chadda? Because it's not just about the two co-stars. It's not about the lead stars. This is a movie that has been directed by somebody who is a very, very promising youngster that I want to watch movies that he makes. You know, Advait Chandan is not guilty of any of these comments. The cinematographer, the editor, the Naga Chaitanya, all the other people involved with this labor of love, why do they need to be punished in any way? Because some section of society, which is completely radical, thinks Amir Khan should be taught a lesson. Aapka Amir Khan ko kuch sabak sikhana hai.
Ratan Sharda, why punish everybody else involved in the creation of the film? Running out of time, but why don't you answer that question? They may be Hindus. They may be Hindus.
First of all, it's a very wrong word to use, like radical, for people who don't want to see Amir Khan's movies.
No, that is different. But to say you have to boycott a picture because he said something in a previous picture, that was, why are you not boycotting Rajkumar?
Fair point.
Why is it Amir Khan?
Ratan Sharda, why punish everybody involved for one Amir Khan?
So let us not say it's not a question of which film movie dropped. Rohit Shetty, when he made the new movie, the villain was from Pakistan, was a Muslim, and on a TV interview, he was asked why the villain is Muslim. Now, this is the kind of mindset we have. We have to improve our mindset.
But Pakistan didn't put a ban on his movie,
no? Secondly, it is not question of Amir Khan saying something in the movie. Amir Khan saying the society which nurtured him for years to say, मुझे डर लगता है, मेरी भी को डर लगता है. This it was create resentment.
Sir, every day I say I'm ashamed as a woman to be in India. Doesn't mean मेरे को भी छोड़ना है देश को.
It's a movie. आप इतना
Well. Ladies and gentlemen, why are we so just hyper? Why can't we just calm down? Why can't you just take a film as a film that's a piece of art that is meant to be enjoyed by viewers, and let the viewers take a call whether the film is good, bad, or not so great? Why are we actually putting out trolls and telling people not to go watch the film? Simply because that's not the way India is meant to be. And it is teamwork. So why just hinge it on one man, Amir Khan? And those were his views. Has it stopped anybody really from going about their lives because Amir Khan said something that he said in 2015? Why make a mountain out of a molehill? That is where India needs to think and take a call. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me on the News Hour. Good night. Be safe.